Travel writing is about writing one's experience of traveling and visiting Thailand places. As a general writing, it is as old as the 2nd century, and travelers to Greece recorded their experience in the form of a diary. With the inventions of new techniques of irrigation and sea voyages during the 9th and 10th centuries, travel writing became popular as a more number of people begin to explore new places on the globe. Soon such trips started getting royal heritage and support new adventures in colleges, where even commissioned. Does travel writing seem to be just descriptions of a new place born out of curiosity and gained political overtones? Now, even after much of the earth has been explored, and almost every piece on this earth has been written about, its popularity has not waned, as can be seen by the immense viewership it has on modern media like TV and internet. Travel writing has come under serious scholarly study in the past 50 years, and has become a part of cultural studies program in many universities. Travel writing is no longer viewed as a product of some innocent curiosity or an attempt to understand and align culture objectively. Rather, this narrative is a telling comment on how culture gets represented by another, and in the process of subtly uphold some cultural values as somehow superior and universal than the others. Japanese manners. A quarter of an hour in Japan will convince you that you are among exquisitely well-known people. People who live on a hopelessly overcrowded land have to respect one another's privacy, or rather, would have to if they had any privacy. But they don't. Show courtesy as a double function. It is courtesy and it is substitute privacy. Take, for example, the little red telephones in the streets, shops, halls of hotels. The instrument is situated on a table or on a counter. They have no space to spare for boths. You conduct your most confidential business transactions, your intimate love quarrels in public at perfect privacy. Anybody, any passenger by, could listen in, but nobody does. A man's telephone receiver is his castle. You will of course, immediately notices their mania for bowing. Everybody keeps bowing to everybody else, with ceremonious solemnity of courtier, yet with a great deal of natural and inimitable grace. Bowing is neither less nor more silly than shaking hands or kissing the cheek, but it is quainter, more formal, more oriental. It is also infectious. After a few hours you start bowing yourself. But you too deeply are not deeply enough. You bow to the wrong man at the wrong time. You do not clasp your hand in front of you, which is bad. Or you do, which is worse. You will discover that the Japanese have a complicated hierarchy in bowing. Who bows as to whom, how deeply and for how long. One of the Americans stated an early traffic law which laid down that if two cars meet at the intersections, neither was to move before the other had gone. Similarly, if two Japanese bow, neither is to strengthen up before the other stands in front of him. A little complicated to us. They manage it without difficulty and even the smallest difference in rank. Standing, age, social positions will be subtly reflected in that split second one man's bow is shorter than others. In many cases there are clear-cut differences in the positions and no difficulties. The basic rules inside the family. The wife bows to her husband, the child bows to his father, younger brother to the elder brothers, the sisters bows to all brothers of whatever age. I saw babies carried in a Japanese style on their mother's back in clever little saddles, and whenever mother bowed, baby bows too. Somewhat as condescendingly, from majestic height. Japanese store employee bowing girls who stand at the top of the escalator and whose only duty is to bow deeply and deferentially to all and sundry. On the famous and fast Tokaido line between Tokyo and Osaka, two conductors enter the carriage in a slightly theatrical skni. They march to the middle of the coach, how ceremoniously in both directions, and then start checking the tickets. In one of the parts of Nara I met a deer. I bought a pack of food for him. He came up to me, looked into my eyes and bowed deeply. It was no chance gesture. It was a proper and courteous bow. Perhaps deer are more imitative than I knew. It happens if they see people going all the time, they get into the habit to. Perhaps it is something genetic and is in the blood of Japanese deer. I do not know. But I do know that the deer bowed to me, then jumped at me, snatched the little food bag from my hand. In this, too, the rest was a true Japanese. You can often see people wearing to each other with ceremonious serenity at bus stops. As soon as a bus arrives, the bowing gentlemen are transformed into savages. They push each other aside, trade on each other's toes, and show me their third elbow into each other's stomachs. Eating soup is more dangerous than almost anything else. When eating soup you must make a fearful noise. It is a sign of appreciation. If you don't, your hostess will think, "What an all-manner lout." But if you do, they will think, "No reasonably well brought-up European makes such disgusting noises when eating soup. He must be in film and lout." Traffic in Brazil. Nobody hurries in Brazil. It does not really matter whether you reach your destination an hour too soon, a day late, or not all. The gray pavements in the streets of the Copacabana are often decorated with beautiful black mosaics, a unique type of decoration. Only a people alive to beauty in their surroundings, and we have plenty of time for contemplation during their meditative, ambulatory exercises, would take the trouble to decorate the pavements they walk on. However, as soon as these essay-going, leisurely characters get steering wheel in their hands, no speed enough fast enough for them, you would then be inclined to believe that gaining a tenth of a second is a matter of a grave importance for all of them all the time. Motorcars are extremely expensive in Brazil, importance duties being crippling and murderous. Only a few other, poorer, South American states are in a worse position in this respect. Complaints are universal. Hardly anyone can afford a car. Yet this only means that the number of motor vehicles is growing by leaps and bounds, almost as if cars were distributed free of charge to all and sundry. Thus the pedestrians is becoming more hazardous every day. It is not the driver do not care about pedestrians. The trouble is that they do care about them. They are, in fact, on the lookout for them. As soon as a driver notices a pedestrian step above pavements, regards him as fair game, he takes him, accelerates. The pedestrian has to jump, leap and run for dear life. He does not resent this in the least. Driver and pedestrian, hunter and prey smile amicably in each other. I win today, you will win tomorrow, fair enough. The war between drivers themselves is murderous but good-tempered. They cut in, they overtake on both sides, they force you to brake violently and commit all the most heinous crimes of the road, and 20 times every hour. But they smile at you the same time. There is no anger, no hostility, no mad hooting. The Avenida Presidente Vargas is the worst place of all. You stand there, trying to cross the road and contemplating the truly fascinating problem. How can crawling traffic proceed at such terrifying speed, and hour after hour passes? Without a ray of hope of auspicious crossing, you may witness seeing something like this: a man, on your side of the agenda, Vargas suddenly catches sight of a friend of his on the other side and start waving to him. At the same time looking completely mystified. How on earth did you get over there? He shouts across, trying to make himself heard above the traffic. It is the other fellows to be surprised by this naive question. He yells back, "How? I was born on this side."
Dear student, English is actually very easy subject, if you understand clearly and perfectly with using dictionary. First you read the book completely with our video, and read the book once again with our video, and observe our video completely 1 time, 2 time, until the lesson must be understanding clearly. All the best. Use our channel continuously and subscribe now itself, because more and more videos uploading as soon as possible to make English easy to underscore, score more in the examinations. Be prepared. Be ready, be start preparing English, make it easy for you, we also English make it for easy. Thanking you.